around, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's super nice to meet you. I'm Marceline, because he was asking me my tag. And I was like, oh, what's your tag? Like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Jabali. I run this event. And I immediately
like, my name is on the building.
I speed ran the 5 stages of grief immediately. That's not what I wanted. But yeah, CEO was wonderful. It was definitely the most memorable first experience I've had with the FGC, and Jesus Christ. After I got back from CEO, actually, I ended up getting a message from Zach Catterman, Catamari, who runs very good reaction. Holy shit, amazing. But he is the director of ECT, and this was maybe a couple of months after, I think, and he was like, I don't know why, but I've been hearing your name everywhere. Let's hop into a business meeting, because I don't really pull people out of pools for this. So he did. We went to a business meeting, and he offered me the position of stage manager, which was my first toe dip into the realm of production for FGC things. I would count Collision, but Smash is different, I would say. And now I'm here.
I feel like there's a can of worms there that I almost want to unpack when we're in between games.
No, you don't. I started off in Smash. No, you don't.
So, but the thing is, obviously, like, first of all, Smash vs. FGC, that conversation is as old as time. But, like, the way that the communities operate, the way that tournaments are, like, whatever, all of that notwithstanding, I would think that from a production standpoint, it can't be that different. Would I be wrong in that?
I would say, well, with who I worked with, I would say Smash is definitely, the way they have their production setup is a little bit different. In terms of stage management, it's pretty much the same. But what I was doing for Run of Show was data input. So that was a little bit different because they had different characters, different rule sets and stuff like that. But for ECT, it was definitely, what's the word? A shocker for me, almost.
Okay.
Because it was my first big scale event, I suppose, in the FGC. And thankfully, I had Zach and everybody on my production team, and they were wonderful people. But yeah, I went from ECT to, in between that, in between CEO and ECT, I ended up doing a bunch of different events, like the, Waka Flocka Flame versus Sonic Fox. I worked that as well. I was a stage man. That's how I met Bunch. Yes, that was the first time I met Bunch, actually, I think. Or the no, that was like the second or third time. But I worked that as well as the AT&T, I forgot what the thing was called, the AT&T Twitch Cup? But after that...
Oh, yeah. I know the thing you're talking... When they did the, like, they invited the influencers to play.
Yes. I was a game admin for their Street Fighter 6 bracket. And after all of that, I went from ECT to now Red Bull Kumite, which I definitely didn't expect, but fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, I mean, Red Bull's great people to work with, too. They're super fun.
It's just, because it's just such a grand scale, like, large thing for me, and it's my first time working with them, I really didn't expect myself to be seen or heard of before, if that makes sense.
Ooh, nice pickup on the round. Yeah, I get what you mean, right? Like, the rise is so fast. Oh man, checks the DR? Alright. People are going to be labbing the Juri matchup all over again after Capcom
Please,
Cup.
No.
You think so, Brad? I think people might just call it a fluke at some point.
People might pick up Juri. They might not lab it, but they will pick her up.
It's interesting, too, because, like, I feel like she was considered so strong early on, and then sort of fell off as people started exploring other characters. The strength that she had never disappeared. Maybe it just takes the right player who has that read on tendencies. Okay, level 2 coming out.
Yeah, I mean, we're just now getting our first set of balance patches, and the characters are all basically the same, minus, like, this week.
Right. This is sorry, I just saw something in chat. So do you think that you'll ever gravitate over to Classic, or do you feel like there's not an advantage to it for you?
I definitely feel like there's an advantage. I mean, with modern movesets, you actually lose some really important moves. Like for Juri, I think I'm missing her Crash Medium Punch? I forget what it's called specifically, but it's definitely one of her best pokes. And so with that, it's definitely harder to really secure the win, and you get used to a lot of automated movesets. For example, this specific combo that I'm doing all the time, it's just automated. Oh, Jesus. But because I started off on Modern, it's a little bit harder for me to switch over to Classic. Plus, I've kind of built up the reputation of being the most modern masher on my channel at this point. I want to keep that going because I think it's hilarious. I call myself the most modern
masher.
The most modern masher you will ever see. I treat Juri like a grappler. But
there are grapplers you could play, you know. Like there's other characters in the game.
Yeah, but Juri's so cool, man.
What is it about Juri?
Oh my god, Kimberly.
What is it about Juri? Kimberly, of course.
Kimberly.
No, that was my mistake. That was my mistake. I didn't mean to queue up.
Juri, in my